back to Cricket for Americans. Nick here.
Gabe, the Night Watchman.
And Gabe and I are here for another episode of Cricket Tuesday. And I'm excited for this one because this guy to my left hates rom-coms.
I do.
He hates love stories on film, TV shows, songs, all of it. The man has no heart. The man can't cry unless it has something to do with the Knicks or the Yankees or whatever scrubs he follows, right? So we got a video here today, Gabe. What is it called?
Most emotional moments which made us cry. Now,
cricketers crying on the field.
Cricketers crying on the field. Now, here's the thing. I don't like rom-coms because I think they're just hilariously just so inauthentic. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what real life is like. And I get it. Somebody's going to say, you watch superhero movies, dude. I know. But then I go to a rom-com with my wife, and she, you know, in her mind thinks I'm supposed to be Leo DiCaprio in Titanic. Not happening. We're both in the water, cousin, or we're both on that little bit of wood. But I'm not gonna sit there and just die. What are you kidding me? You know what I mean? Like, what are you like, dude? I'm being honest. I'm being honest. Leo did not have to die.
So ridiculous.
Leo did not have to die there. They could have shared it. You know what I mean? That little piece, or you go in the water, I go in the water. Come on. And I mean, like, some of these rom-coms are just so, to me, they set unrealistic expectations. And I know that, like, I don't know, like, as a man, I always think, you're like, really? Is I'm supposed to be that romantic, or is it supposed to be that thing? So that, to me, the rom-com thing. Like, other emotional movies, I don't mind as much, especially rom-coms. Now, when it comes to sports, you know, emotional moments normally come when something that has not been done or something meaningful or impactful happens. Then also when it's a sad moment, right? And maybe there's a tragedy on the field, somebody gets hurt. We just experienced one of those this year in the NFL when a player literally died basically on the field. Had a heart attack on the field. You know what I mean? They had to resuscitate him, you know what I'm saying, right there on the field. So, I mean, that was just like, he survived, but he was clinically dead for a few minutes until they got out there and responded. And that was super scary. I remember it being like, man, the last few years, Nick, you know, have been so surreal when we're talking about COVID and the lockdowns and everything you saw happen with that. And just like, you know, when stuff that, like, is this really happening? Is this like, you know what I mean? You think about it. This is stuff you read in history books in 10, 15, 20 years. But, like, it's happening to us now. And my entire, you know, time watching sports, I'd never seen an athlete collapse on the field the way that he did and just basically almost die on there. It's crazy.
It's nuts. And
man, it's for me, that kind of emotionality I don't want to see when the player's hurt or they get emotional because that you do see in the NFL and even in Major League Baseball. Somebody gets seriously hurt or whatnot, all the players immediately take a knee because it's like, hey, you know, they know it could be life and death.
It's that solidarity.
And I'm thinking about in cricket, for instance, it might be something we see, the Phil Hughes situation. You know, I'm sure that was a very sad moment, and all the players on the field probably felt it at that point.
To make it a little more light here, on the thumbnail, there's 4 pictures.
Right.
Okay? South Africa, I think Bangladesh, not exactly sure. And 2 of them are from India. You want to know why they're crying? Because they lose World Cup after World Cup. They get there.
We're still here.
World Cup after World Cup.
We're still talking about it.
So it's fitting that 2 of them are Indian players. One's like an entire team, for crying out loud. So I'm excited, but I'm also worried to watch this because it's going to make me cry in a bad way.
It could be,
not in a good way.
It could be emotional moments that are, like I said, that are like amazing. I think of, you know, think about Scotty Boland, right? Who just held court out there in the WTC. India? No. He's an Australian, but there were tears of joy when he finally made it through. And I mean,
I'm sure there'll be tears of joy for other teams in this compilation.
I mean, come on. Like, I'm sure.
Top 5. If 2 of them are Indian debacles.
Oh, gosh.
I'm going to lose it.
What is it? 36 all out. That, I mean, it might be on there. You're right.
If 2 of the 5 are from the India team, I have to say, thank goodness I wasn't born in India. But we're going to go ahead and check this out. If you like our video or our reaction in any way, please don't forget to
like and subscribe.
We do appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Here we go.
No, let's try it again. Take 2. Say it.
Here we go.
Press the bell icon and subscribe to Sportskeeda and never miss anything from the world of sport again.
Did you say maybe somebody retiring. I can see that being a big issue.
That's you for us. It might be good. It might be good. Oh!
Wow.
There it is!
Cricket is the greatest game in the world. It's been my life, and I hope it can be again. I'm sorry, and I'm absolutely devastated.
That I may one day be given the privilege of playing for my country again. But I'm resigned to the fact that that may never happen.
Dude, they got the cops like escorting them through the airport. Like,
I love how so many cricketers have baseball caps. Oh. There's Jihan
Doesn't
smiling.
make me feel better at all. Not at all, no. We play this game to win games of cricket, to take glory away home and make a difference in a nation's heart and hope. So we didn't do that. We didn't achieve that, and
Wow.
it hurts quite a bit, you know. We had a few chances to win the game tonight. That's not the only chance. Tried my best to catch it. I didn't. Life moves on. I didn't take that, and unfortunately, we had our chance again after that. But yes, if you want to see it that way, that I cost us, then I'll gladly take it.
Gladly take it. What a man. Okay. His last test.
Even though physically I'm not playing for India,
how did cricket?
in my heart I'll always be playing for India and praying for India.
Yeah.
Whether मैं टीम का हिस्सा हूँ या नहीं, really doesn't matter. I think जो मैं सोचता हूँ as an Indian, जब भी इंडिया सिर्फ क्रिकेट ही नहीं कोई भी फील्ड में पार्टिसिपेट करे, इंडिया comes first and then next.
Goat. A living goat walking off the field. His cap down. Told Bangladesh.
Tears of joy right there, though. Right?
I'm not sure if it's tears of joy or tears of sadness. I'm not sure if they won or lost. Looks like tears of joy. Or not. I'm not sure. Oh, he called it. That's cool.
The heart of a man who lived his life for this wonderful game we play, and whose soul enriched not just our sport, but all of our lives. So rest in peace, my little brother. I'll see you out in the middle.
Oh. Jeez.
Yeah, we got
I can't imagine that. I'm assuming one of those is his dad carrying his son off. Because there was 5, this is number 6.
He's the kind of player, once he gets going, you know, if you see his pass throughout the series, you know, he keeps scoring. And once he starts scoring, he starts contributing with the ball. And of course, being the big match player that he is, you know, he always rises to the occasion.
He won one.
And I think his fielding was as good as I have seen in the last few years. So overall, I think he was very ready for this tournament.
People have asked me from time to time, and I'm no celebrity, so who really cares, right? But as a sports fan, they ask me all the time, like, why do you spend so much time watching sports? Why do you love it so much? And besides, like, the pride factor of this is my team, I'm going to see them through a championship or whatever, it's because you, like, a line that you say all the time, you can't make it up. You really can't. Like, you can't script this stuff in sports. Almost on a nightly basis, you can see something amazing that you can't expect, that you're not going to be able to get the same emotion from watching a scripted TV show or whatever. it's just amazing to see what these men and women are able to do out on the field and the amazing feats that they're able to accomplish. And with that, you're going to have those emotional moments, those moments where it means so. I mean, it's trivial, okay? A World Cup final in cricket in 2011, I had no idea it even existed, okay? So there's parts of the world that have no idea, but it doesn't matter because for Yuvraj Singh, for the rest of the Indian players, that was the first time since 1983, for crying out loud. Yeah. I mean, that is such a huge moment, and it's something that is beautiful to watch. I love seeing when adults get emotional for the right reasons, because I've been there plenty of times. Whether it's at church or whether an accomplishment of my kids or, you know, someone I'm proud of or whatever, and you come to tears thinking about it, it's a great thing, not a bad thing. And let me just say, okay, it showed Sandpaper Gate. Nothing negative for India as far as cricket goes, so that's okay.
But here's the reality about that, Nick. It's funny, you mentioned it. Like, I don't know what it is. You do know what it is. There's something primal about sports. If you think back to, like, go back as far as you can in recorded history, right? You see, like, the Mayas had these games organized that almost look like basketball or whatever. It's about competition. It's part of human nature to want to compete, right? And that is something that, whether you're gaming in a video game, whether you're competing on test scores, whether you're competing, think about it. They've made chess a competitive thing. Spelling bees, it doesn't matter. It's you competing and giving your all, and there's something interesting as a fan to watch it, but I think we also vicariously live a little bit through our teams, because at one point we competed at something, right? And even if we're no longer athletes, or we were never athletes, we still have that competitive spirit in us. Right. So I think that's why we follow sports the way we do. I think each one of those moments, though, and another reason we follow sports is because it also mirrors real life. Think about what we saw there. We saw a cheating scandal. Well, they always say, you wouldn't want to be judged on your worst moment, right? Nobody wants to be judged on their worst moment. Australia got judged on their worst moment, but who hasn't fallen? You know what I mean? Who hasn't made a mistake? And people are going to say, that, Gabe, it wasn't a mistake. It was a mistake. It was a lapse in error. They intentionally cheated. Mistake, but yes. They intentionally cheated, but the point is, it was a mistake to cheat.
Let it get that far.
To let it get that far, right? They pushed the envelope too far. And you could see, like, Smudge, I remember every time I watched that, the pain, like, he was so deeply hurt, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, man, like, this is something I'm never going to be able to live down. I'm never going to be able, until to this day, you keep hearing it. So we saw that. We saw victory, right? When in the 2011 championship for India, when you're finally able to accomplish something after so long. So we saw the Phil Hughes thing, seeing someone, expire during a game of competition. That's just an emotional thing that you cannot, first of all, you can't unsee it. So anybody that was there that day, anybody that was a part of that game, that's always going to be there. And then it also reminds the players, like, listen, we are just playing the game. You know what I mean? There's more important things, right? So I think it talks about, or sports show us, like, hey, you're going to have your highs, you're going to have your lows. Sachin, the greatest cricketer arguably of all time, right? The god of cricket. But even his day came. You know what I mean? Like, he had to retire. Nothing lasts forever. You will have to walk into the sunset sooner or later. And I mean, that prepares us for life where, I'm not going to put you in that category, but as I get older, I am now already in my 40s thinking about, all right, another 20 years working, whatever, but what do I want my legacy to be, my defining legacy, retirement, what do I want to do? You know what I mean? Like, you start thinking about it because you have a finite amount of time, whether it's in a sport, whether it's in a profession, you know what I'm saying? And it was such a cool video because it encompassed everything. It wasn't just the victories, it just wasn't the lows, but all the emotionality that goes with cricket, whether it's playing well and performing well, whether it's, cheating and a scandal, making a mistake, whether it's, somebody passing or somebody just retiring.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. It's why we watch it. All those different moments wrapped up in one. Let me just clarify one thing. It was Pakistan that won the Asia Cup 2012 against Bangladesh, so that was definitely tears of sadness. Right. Pakistan won by 2 runs for crying out loud. So I mean,
think about how close that is.
And that's probably why they were crushed, because they came so close to it. Let us know what your thoughts are about our reaction to this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time,
that's 6 runs.